ឆ្លើយនឹងទៅចែកគ្នាទៅលើ9ចំណុចតែទី1នោះគឺយើងបានទៅចែកគ្នាអំពីអ្វីដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខហើយលោកគ្រូក៏បានរៀបរាប់ហើយថាអ្វីដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខ
តម្លៃនៃជីវិតបាទកាលណានិយាយពីតម្លៃខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងម្នាក់សុទ្ធតែមានគំនិតរៀងខ្លួនមិនមែនតទេទេគ្រាន់ថាការគិតអាចនឹងមានភាពខុសគ្នាខ្លះទៅលើតម្លៃដែលយើងឲ្យហើយចំពោះទស្សនៈទូទៅគឺគេឲ្យទៅលើភាពជោគជ័យផ្សេងដូចជាការសិក្សាជោគជ័យធ្វើចំនួនជោគជ័យគ្រួសារជោគជ័យឬក៏តំណែងតំណងស្នេហាជោគជ័យនិងភាពកក់ក្ដៅក្នុងក្រុមគ្រួសារហើយនឹងអាចមានការចិញ្ចឹមជីវិតនឹងល្អប្រសើរមិនខ្វះមុខខ្វះក្រោយថានេះគឺជាតម្លៃមួយហ្នឹងហើយបើតាមមេគាវធម៌ការរៀបរាប់មកប៉ុណ្ណេះជា step 1 ជាជំហានដំបូងពីព្រោះការជោគជ័យទាំងអស់នេះគឺជាមូលដ្ឋានគ្រឹះធ្វើឲ្យយើងឈានទៅរកភាពជោគជ័យជាលំដាប់បើសិនបើភាពជោគជ័យខាងដើមមានគ្រួសារជាដើមមិនជោគជ័យទេក៏វាលំបាកនឹងឈានទៅរកភាពជោគជ័យបន្តដោយសារជីវិតរបស់សត្វលោកយើងនេះវាមិនមែនត្រូវរស់តែនឹងជីវិតនឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងដោយសារត្រូវត្រាច់រង្គត់នៅក្នុងសង្សារវដ្តទៀតទៅត្រូវឲ្យចម្រើននៅប្រយោជន៍បន្តដោយការមានសទ្ធាមានសិលមានចាគៈនិងមានបញ្ញាក្នុងការធ្វើក្នុងការប្រព្រឹត្តក្នុងជីវិតប្រចាំថ្ងៃនឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយក៏មិនតន់ឈ្មោះថាជីវិតនឹងពិតជាមានតម្លៃមែនទែននៅឡើយពីព្រោះសំបីតែតាំងនៅក្នុង morality ក្នុងសេចក្តីល្អនឹងហើយក៏ដោយក៏ជីវិតនេះនៅតែតាំងនៅក្នុងភាពមិនទៀងមានការប្រែប្រួលជាធម្មតាទោះជាគោលដៅដែលយើងប្រាថ្នានឹងវាបានមកដល់ក៏ដោយប៉ុន្តែវាតាំងនៅក្នុងភាពមិនទៀងវាតែងតែអស់ទៅសូន្យទៅដូច្នេះទៅគ្រូដ៏អស្ចារ្យម្នាក់ហ្នឹងបានរកឃើញផ្លូវដើម្បីចេញចាកពីភាពមិនទៀងហ្នឹងគឺការប្រព្រឹត្តដោះខាត់សម្អាតឬគល់ដែលនាំឲ្យទៅកាន់វត្តដាក់ហ្នឹងគឺជាការប្រតិបត្តិតាមអរិយមគ្គទៅកាន់ភាពមិនប្រែប្រួលដែលហៅថានិព្វានដែលជាអមតដ្ឋានអញ្ចឹងដូច្នេះដូចខ្ញុំលើកខាងដើមអញ្ចឹងកាលណាបើយើងនិយាយពីតម្លៃយើងមានការឲ្យតម្លៃផ្សេងគ្នាប៉ុន្តែតម្លៃនោះគឺស្ថិតនៅលើការគិតរបស់យើងតែតម្លៃពិតប្រាកដរបស់ជីវិតដែលរស់នៅគឺมันមានអ្វីក្រៅពីសេចក្តីល្អដែលសន្សំទុកនៅក្នុងសន្តាននោះទេហើយជួនកាលយើងផ្ដោតទៅលើសេចក្តីសុខដែលយើងទទួលបានយើងអាចនិយាយជាពីរជាសេចក្តីសុខខាងក្រៅហើយនិងសេចក្តីសុខកើតពីសមុទ្ឋានខាងក្នុងខាងក្រៅវាពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងរបស់របរផ្សេងដែលជាតម្រូវការក្នុងជីវិតរួមជាមួយនឹងសុខភាពផងប៉ុន្តែសេចក្តីសុខមួយទៀតដែលប្រសើរជាងនោះគឺជាសេចក្តីសុខផ្លូវចិត្តហ្នឹងដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខកើតឡើងមានសភាពតាំងនៅយូរអង្វែងជាងសេចក្តីសុខព្រោះប្រាថ្នារបស់ខាងក្រៅដែលយើងបានវាអាចធ្វើឲ្យយើងរីករាយធ្វើឲ្យយើងសប្បាយចិត្តតែមួយគ្រាមួយពេលដែលសែបសោយអារម្មណ៍នោះប៉ុណ្ណោះក៏ប៉ុន្តែសេចក្តីសុខដែលកើតអំពីសេចក្តីល្អពីក្នុងវាកាន់តែចម្រើនឡើងហើយនឹងតាំងនៅអស់កាលយូរជាងសេចក្តីសុខព្រោះអារម្មណ៍ខាងក្រៅ
ខ្ញុំបាទនឹងធ្វើការគោរពអញ្ជើញទៅដល់លោកគ្រូឧបាសកសានសុជាដែលជាវេគ្មិនពិសេសសម្រាប់ បងប្អូនធម្មយាទទាំងអស់នៅក្នុងវេលាឱកាសនេះបាទលោកគ្រូសូមជឿ
Ladies and gentlemen, Suji is in front of you. You already know him and also see his picture. But I think I should briefly tell and introduce a little bit about his background. So he has been a Buddhist monk almost 30 years, as I remember. More than 30 years, and his life sacrificed for Dharma, and he traveled to see people Cambodian peoples around the world who are really interested in Dharma in order to conduct the kinds of program like today, just mainly for Dharma in daily life. So that's just a short brief background of him. So that the reason today Kim invite him because we think that Dharma is very important in our daily life, not only for anyone but everyone, and we should have time to be together and discuss and share our experience because everyone may have unique experience and also believe different value thing in life. So that's the reason today. So now I give the floor to Suji and he may have the introduction, and as I mentioned, after he's delivered his speech, we're going to open the floor for question and answer, and also anyone welcome to share experience as well. Thank you.
Mai muốn ông lệ muốn chứ.
I hold the microphone in case you need it.
Let me speak in Khmer first.
It will not be the translation, but I'll just assist him if he need because he can speak both Khmer and English.
ជាបឋមសូមនមស្ការគុណការទាំង3ដោយសេចក្តីគោរពព្រះថ្លាដ៏ពងពោះនមស្ការកណ្ណាជាម្ចាស់គ្រប់ព្រះអង្គដែលអាចកំពុងទស្សនាគោរពជ្រាបសួរពុទ្ធបរិស័ទទាំងអស់ឬមិនមែនជាពុទ្ធបរិស័ទថ្ងៃនេះគឺកម្មវិធីសន្ទនាវធម៌ដែលប្រពៃឡើងនៅហាងកាហ្វេប្អូនសម្បត្តិហ្នឹងហើយសែមនៅតំបន់
Sinkilda
ហ្នឹងហើយបាទហើយប្រធានបទដែលលើកឡើងនៅថ្ងៃនេះគឺតម្លៃនៃជីវិតបាទកាលណានិយាយពីតម្លៃខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងម្នាក់សុទ្ធតែមានគំនិតរៀងខ្លួនមិនមែនទទេទេគ្រាន់ថាការគិតអាចនឹងមានភាពខុសគ្នាខ្លះទៅលើតម្លៃដែលយើងឲ្យហើយចំពោះទស្សនៈទូទៅគឺគេឲ្យទៅលើភាពជោគជ័យផ្សេងដូចជាការសិក្សាជោគជ័យធ្វើជំនួញជោគជ័យគ្រួសារជោគជ័យឬក៏តំណែងតំណងស្នេហាជោគជ័យនិងភាពកក់ក្ដៅក្នុងក្រុមគ្រួសារហើយនឹងអាចមានការចិញ្ចឹមជីវិតនឹងល្អប្រសើរមិនខ្វះមុខខ្វះក្រោយតែនេះគឺជាតម្លៃមួយហ្នឹងហើយបើតាមមេគាវធម៌ការរៀបរាប់មកប៉ុណ្ណេះជា step 1 ជាជំហានដំបូងពីព្រោះការជោគជ័យទាំងអស់នេះគឺជាមូលដ្ឋានគ្រឹះធ្វើឲ្យយើងឈានទៅរកភាពជោគជ័យជាលំដាប់បើសិនបើភាពជោគជ័យខាងដើមមានគ្រួសារជាដើមមិនជោគជ័យទេក៏វាលំបាកនឹងឈានទៅរកភាពជោគជ័យបន្តដោយសារជីវិតរបស់សត្វលោកយើងនេះវាមិនមែនត្រូវរស់តែនឹងជីវិតនឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងដោយសារត្រូវត្រាច់រង្គត់នៅក្នុងសង្សារវដ្តទៀតទៅត្រូវឲ្យចម្រើននៅប្រយោជន៍បន្តដោយ ការមានសទ្ធាមានសិលមានចាគៈនិងមានបញ្ញាក្នុងការធ្វើក្នុងការប្រព្រឹត្តក្នុងជីវិតប្រចាំថ្ងៃនឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយក៏មិនតន់ឈ្មោះថាជីវិតនឹងពិតជាមានតម្លៃមែនទែននៅឡើយពីព្រោះសូម្បីតែតាំងនៅក្នុង morality ក្នុងសេចក្តីល្អនឹងហើយក៏ដោយក៏ជីវិតនេះនៅតែតាំងនៅក្នុងភាពមិនទៀងមានការប្រែប្រួលជាធម្មតាទោះជាគោលដៅដែលយើងប្រាថ្នានឹងវាបានមកដល់ក៏ដោយប៉ុន្តែវាតាំងនៅក្នុងភាពមិនទៀងវាតែងតែអស់ទៅសូន្យទៅដូច្នេះទៅគ្រូដ៏អស្ចារ្យម្នាក់ហ្នឹងបានរកឃើញផ្លូវដើម្បីចេញចាកពីភាពមិនទៀងហ្នឹងគឺការប្រព្រឹត្តដ៏ខាត់សម្អាតឬគុលដែលនាំឲ្យទៅកាន់វត្តដាក់ហ្នឹងគឺជាការប្រតិបត្តិតាមអរិយមគ្គទៅកាន់ភាពមិនប្រែប្រួលដែលហៅថានិព្វានដែលជាអមតៈឋានអញ្ចឹងដូច្នេះដូចខ្ញុំលើកខាងដើមអញ្ចឹងកាលណាបើយើងនិយាយពីតម្លៃយើងមានការឲ្យតម្លៃផ្សេងគ្នាប៉ុន្តែតម្លៃនោះវាស្ថិតនៅលើការគិតរបស់យើងតែតម្លៃពិតប្រាកដរបស់ជីវិតដែលរស់នៅគឺมันមានអ្វីក្រៅពីសេចក្តីល្អដែលសន្សំទុកនៅក្នុងសន្តាននោះទេហើយជួនកាលយើងផ្ដោតទៅលើសេចក្តីសុខដែលយើងទទួលបានយើងអាចនិយាយជាពីរជាសេចក្តីសុខខាងក្រៅហើយនិងសេចក្តីសុខកើតពីសមុដ្ឋានខាងក្នុងខាងក្រៅវាពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងរបស់របរផ្សេងដែលជាតម្រូវការក្នុងជីវិតរួមជាមួយនឹងសុខភាពផងប៉ុន្តែសេចក្តីសុខមួយទៀតដែលប្រសើរជាងនោះគឺជាសេចក្តីសុខផ្លូវចិត្តហ្នឹងដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខកើតឡើងមានសភាពតាំងនៅយូរអង្វែងជាងសេចក្តីសុខព្រោះប្រាថ្នារបស់ខាងក្រៅដែលយើងបានវាអាចធ្វើឲ្យយើងរីករាយធ្វើឲ្យយើងសប្បាយចិត្តតែមួយគ្រាមួយពេលដែលសែបសោយអារម្មណ៍នោះប៉ុណ្ណោះក៏ប៉ុន្តែសេចក្តីសុខដែលកើតអំពីសេចក្តីល្អពីក្នុងវាកាន់តែចម្រើនឡើងហើយនឹងតាំងនៅអស់កាលយូរជាងសេចក្តីសុខព្រោះអារម្មណ៍ខាងក្រៅបកបានទេបាទ Okay, let me try to speak in English. Now we are talking about the value of life. So people can say many things about the value of life depend on their understanding. Some people value on things, luxuries things or something that they want. For example, when they have good family, they have security, finance security, they have good career or good job, and they have good connection with the society, so they can think they have their own value in the society. But all the things still impermanent. It can be changed all the time. That's why in the Buddha's teaching taught us how to prepare, how to be ready for everything that always changed, so that we can accept all things that happen to our life. So the true value of our life is the understanding about life. So what is life? In many dictionaries, the definition of the life is referred to the duration between birth and death, or the living time. But actually, life is not something which is very far away. It is about seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and thinking. So life always goes through these 6 doors. When one cannot see, cannot hear, cannot smell, cannot taste, cannot touch and cannot think, we call he is dead. So life is the processing of the six doors. That's why to contemplate on the six doors, it brings us to get the real understanding of life. Many people want to be happy, right? If you are being asked, do you want to be happy? Do you want to live a happy life? Yes, everyone can say, yes, I want happy life. But actually, they are on highway to get boring or stressed. Because most people always seek happiness outside. They seek happiness from the object, from things outside. Of course, when you can get what you wanted, you may feel excited. It makes you pleasure, but it cannot stay last long. But the real happiness is from inside your mind. The happiness that comes from inside your mind can stay last long by understanding all reality as they are. So they can face all things, no matter it is pleasure or ugly, but they can understand all things are impermanent, happen and then falls away rapidly. Okay. That's it.
So this is your opening speech. You would like to open the floor for question and answer or sharing experience now? ចាឥឡូវនេះយើងដល់វេទិកាដែលយើងអាចសួរសំណួរឬក៏ចែករំលែកនៅបទពិសោធន៍អំពីប្រធានបទរបស់យើងដល់មកហើយយើងអាចនិយាយបានជាភាសាខ្មែរឬក៏ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសបើសិនជាអាចនិយាយទាំងពីរភាសាបានក៏បានដែរ So you open the floor for question and answer and also sharing an experience and we would like to hear your personal perspective as well about life value. So Barbara or Tony would like to share yeah. I hand the microphone to you. You can hear.
Thank you. I just want to ask, happiness within me is seeing my children and my grandchildren happy. Is that, if they're not happy or they're sick, that makes me feel, sad. Yeah, and I want to take their pain instead of them having it. Is that something that in the Buddhist community is that something that?
It's okay. You can continue. I just wanted to.
No, that's.
You understand the questions?
What, please?
I'll just clarify the question, Barbara. So you feel when you see your grandchildren, you feel happy. When you see that they are sick, you feel really sad and very sorrow, and you want to take pain on behalf of them. You understand the questions? So what is the real happiness? Is it happiness when you see the grandchildren?
No, បកបន្តិចដើម្បីឲ្យគេ
ចាខ្ញុំព្យាយាមបញ្យល់តែអ្នកឆ្លើយសំណួរតែប៉ុន្តែ so she understand your question I'll just translate in Khmer and then the audience online can understand what you ask សំណួរចង់សួរថានៅពេលដែលយើងគាត់មានអារម្មណ៍ឃើញចៅឃើញអីយើងក៏សប្បាយចិត្តដល់ពេលចៅគាត់ឈឺគាត់កើតទុក្ខហើយគាត់ចង់ដឹងថាពេលកើតសប្បាយចិត្តហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹង happiness ពិតប្រាកដអត់ហើយគាត់ចង់ពេលឃើញចៅឃើញអីឈឺអញ្ចឹងគាត់ពិបាកគាត់ចង់ឈឺជំនួសចៅណាហើយអាហ្នឹងវាមិនដែរចិត្តហ្នឹងគឺជាសំណួរដែលគាត់ចង់សួរចា
Okay. It is normal instinct that we all have because we are all ordinary people. We have loved, we have attachment. So definitely when we see our beloved one happy, we also happy. But if our beloved one suffering, we also sad. This is general thing in the world, not only for any particular nations or any particular religion. So, because suffering happen of its condition, the condition of suffering is attachment. You see, nowadays the war happened in the world. Many children have been killed. But we sometimes we just got the information and then we feel a little bit sad for that, but not much. But if this case happened to our beloved granddaughter or grandson, it's much grief for us. Why? Because our own attachment. We attach to that person, we attach to that thing. So suffering happen when we attach to anyone or anything, and someone or thing that we attach have problem. We also have problem with that. That's why the great Buddha always taught us to develop our loving kindness or compassion instead of attachment. You know, learn to train the mind to detach, but to develop compassion instead. Yeah, it's normal. We all have born at the beginning, ending, aging, and along the journey of life, we face many problems like sickness or many problems. That's why Buddha always taught us to be ready for everything that comes to you. It is very simple. So, train your mind to accept the things before bad situation happen. Don't just wait until bad situation happen and then you try to overcome it. It's hard for you. So when you understand about all things in this world are impermanent and non-self, so we all still have suffer when bad thing happen, but not much as the one who never ready for that. For example, even me, if my beloved son have problem, serious sickness, or he passed away, for example, I also grieve, I also sad, but it is not much as like people who never thinking about the impermanent things that happen to us. We still love being father, but we understand the impermanent thing that always happen every single moment. So understanding about the impermanent thing is the best way to recover our mind from the deep grief or lamentation. Yeah, so it is not only for Buddhists, but for all beings in the world. So starting understand the reality is very important.
Yes, I hand the microphone to you. Which is close.
I'm of the belief that you carry your happiness on your shoulders. So no matter where you are, your happiness is on your shoulders.
Is it the question?
It's my belief.
I can believe.
Do you agree? Wherever you are, you carry your happiness.
Are you carrying your happiness on your shoulder all the time?
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, I mean all the time?
No.
Okay.
Happiness
Explain.
also impermanent thing.
Infeminine.
impermanent.
Okay.
Impermanent. It always arises and falls away, even happy or unhappy. No one can hold happiness in hand.
So you accept whatever you have.
Yeah, just accept the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So happiness can happen when we accept the truth.
Agree.
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah, any more questions or share experience មានអ្នកណាចង់ចែករំលែកបទពិសោធន៍ឬមានសំណួរអីផ្សេងទៀតទេ Nita and Jennifer any question not pressure you have time to think ចាមកមកជួយមកមិនចេញចូលចាមកមិន
First of all, I would like to respect all the people to come here to join this program. I would like to ask Lukru about what's the difference between the real Buddha's teaching and some like every day someone pretend to know exactly what Buddha is teaching, but it's not. I would like to ask Lukru what's the difference between the real Dharma from Buddha and the pretending that I'm sorry.
I think maybe many people is not pretending to be the Buddhist, but because of their lack of understanding. Everyone want to be perfect. No one want to get the fake things, like when they want to practice Buddhism, I think all of them want to practice the real Buddhism. But the problem is they don't understand what is the real teaching of the Buddha. Sometimes they just practice or they follow their ancestor or culture. For example, like my baby, if he doesn't learn the real teaching of the Buddha and he just follow his parents, so maybe he gets something wrong because of their parents have the wrong understanding as well, and then they passed their wrong view to their kids, and the kids think, oh, this is Buddhism because my parents told me to do that. But I think he does not want to pretend, but because of he doesn't understand the real teaching.
But like every day I always heard about someone pretend to be a Buddha and then explain to everyone that
yeah, in this world we cannot eliminate all these things because we are living in the world that full with the ordinary people who full of defilement. So it doesn't matter they pretend to be the Buddha or not. The thing is, if we want to understand the real teaching, don't focus on people, don't focus on anyone, but focus on studying the real teaching of the Buddha so that you can judge what is right and what is wrong. Even there is no one who pretend to be the Buddha to cheat you, but if you don't understand, you still cannot understand the real teaching of the Buddha. So the real teaching of the Buddha is the lesson for all living beings, not just for any particular nation or any particular religion. For example, compassion. So what religion that compassion belong to? We all need compassion, loving kindness. we all need loving kindness. When the baby just born, he need love from their parents. So love without attachment. Love is something that all people want, or generosity. So, what religions that generosity belong to? No, it belong to everyone. Everyone need to do generosity, charity, because we live in this world. We cannot live alone. Even we have money to buy clothes, but we cannot shoe by ourselves. We have the car to drive on the road. We alone cannot build the road and drive the car by ourselves. We need people to join together. That's why people need to have charity.
Okay.
So charity is not belong to any religion, but it's for all, right?
Yeah.
Or gratefulness. Buddha always taught us about gratefulness. Be grateful for those who have done something good to us. So grateful is something that we need, not for any religion. And the true teachings of the Buddha is the Four Noble Truths. The first is called suffering. So, suffering is for all beings in this world. We all suffer when we experience bad things, right? When we disparate from the beloved one, we get suffer. So, no matter we are Cambodian or Australian, we all suffer. That's why sometimes it's hard for me to say I am a Buddhist, but I can only say I am the student of my great teacher, or I take the Buddha as my great teacher. Because when I say I am a Buddhist, it seems like I am put myself to be a part of some group of people, but actually the teachings of the Buddha is like the medicine, like Panadol. Not only people who live in Australia can use Panadol, even in Cambodia or other country also can take Panadol. So can we say Panadol belong to any religion? No, cannot. It is a medicine that is very useful to use for everyone and not danger. That's why we don't need the scripture from the doctor and then we can buy from the pharmacy. So it is for all. Yeah.
Thank you, Tien. I think he's a good explainer. He's a good at explaining to the people. So that's why I'm always afraid that the people who did not listen to Buddha's teaching or learning anything from Buddha, they believe in him, so that's what I have a fear every day. But yeah, that's okay. Thank you, លោកគ្រូ ខ្ញុំសូមនិយាយជាភាសាខ្មែរកាលដែលខ្ញុំជូនលោកយាយស្ដាប់ថាកាលដែលខ្ញុំជំរាបសួរលោកគ្រូនឹងចង់ជំរាបសួរពីថាការខុសគ្នារវាងធម៌របស់ព្រះពុទ្ធពិតហើយនឹងធម៌ដែលមានអ្នកខ្លែងបន្លំចង់ធ្វើជាព្រះសាស្តាជំនួសព្រះពុទ្ធហ្នឹងតើវាយ៉ាងម៉េចខុសគ្នាអីចឹងទៅបានលោកគ្រូមានប្រសាសន៍ជាអង់គ្លេសសូមឲ្យកូនដានេជួយ
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. With what's going on in the world, and I don't profess to know too much about the Buddhist faith and that, but to me, respect, to me, is one of the biggest words that should be used in this world, considering what's going on. How does the Buddhist philosophy go as far as respect. I mean, you look at, you know, what's going on between the Muslims, you know, even different Muslims cannot show respect for each other. It's just, to me, it just seems if everybody had respect for each other and for each other's faith, I think the world would be a lot better place.
I'll just verify the questions. I get it. You may.
Well, I just want to know what the Buddhists.
Yeah, because Buddhist philosophy is. Yeah, because you can see another religion, they have the same religions, but they cannot show the respect to each other.
Even in the Christian religions, they don't seem to show respect for each other's religions.
And then what is Buddhism philosophy?
Whereas if people respected other people's right to believe what they want to believe, that's their right to believe that, to just respect it. But they then must respect that other person's right to not believe.
Okay.
You know.
You get it? សំណួរដែលគាត់សួរហ្នឹងរៀងនេះបន្តិចអាចគាត់តាមពិតសំណួរដែលចម្បងចង់ដឹងថាទស្សនវិស័យនៅក្នុងពុទ្ធសាសនាយើងហ្នឹងបង្ហាញមិននៅក្នុងការគោរពពីព្រោះអីក៏ឃើញនៅសាសនាផ្សេងសាសនាដូចគ្នាប៉ុន្តែពេលខ្លះអត់គោរពគ្នាបានណាអញ្ចឹងយើងអត់និយាយថាសាសនាណាប៉ុន្តែគាត់លើកចំមានពីសាសនាចា
Actually, I don't know much about other religion because I have studied in Buddhism. So one Buddhism behavior to all beings, not just for human. You know. Let me talk about the first basic rule for the Buddhist. You know. Being a Buddhist, we have to take the 5 precepts at the first. It is the morality. The first one is not harm or kill all living beings, not just human, even the animals. We should not kill because all beings always want to live their life. No one of them want to be killed. The Buddha said, if anything that you don't want other people to do to you, do not do to others. Compare yourself to others. Okay? So, not only do not kill, but he taught us to develop the loving kindness to all beings. So, being the follower of the Buddha never keep the hatred in mind. So the big enemy of us is not anyone or any nation or any religion. But the big enemy of the Buddhist practicing is the defilement in the mind. In our own mind, like hatred, anger, jealousy, look down on others. This is the enemy that we have to destroy. So we are practicing to destroy our own defilement, not destroy others. So everyone can be our friends, no matter what religion they are believe. See? So Buddha taught us to give the right not only for human, even the animals. We have no right to take their life. We have no right to harm them. This is the first. And the second is not stealing the property or belonging from others. Because if our property being stolen by others, we suffer. That is why we train our mind not to steal. See? And the third is not having sexual misconduct with others' partners. See? And the fourth is speak only the truth word, not lying to anyone because we always need the truth from others, right? We always disappointed if we are being lied. So that is why we should not lie others or cheat others for anything. And the last one, do not take alcohol to destroy our awareness. So only the first step we can live together. You know, if we practice the first one, we never regard anyone as our enemy in the mind. So being the Buddhist follower should know where is the real enemies. So the real enemy is our unwholesome or defilement, like attachment, hatred, anger, jealousy, delusion, ignorance. They are all our enemy that we have to develop our wisdom to destroy it, not other people. So we can live with each other friendly without this racist or something. So this is how Buddhist follower practice. We can work together, we can have food together, no matter where you're from, what religion you believe, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Barbara. Good. That's it. Excuse me. Got a bit of a croak. I believe we're all equal, and I believe Buddhists, if you came into great wealth, you would share it with others less fortunate, wouldn't you? I think that's a good philosophy. I would. If I won 60 million in a lottery, I'd give half it away. I wouldn't want it, would I? Spend it on silly things, yachts and mansions and things like that. But I think your teaching is very good, Buddhism. All for it. Yeah, that's right. A great wealth doesn't make a person always happy.
No.
Good.
Thank you.
Just hearing experience.
A great wealth doesn't make people happy.
A great wealth. Yeah, so Barbara just shared the experience and also appreciate the Buddha teaching. Like everyone have equal right. We should respect to each other. So I think it's not that question. It's just sharing and also acknowledge the value of learning the right Dharma. Okay. Any more questions? Any idea? Any experience? I just okay.
I'll speak both Khmer and English. So the first one is Khmer, English, sorry. Sansachi said that, we experience life through the 6 doors, sight, hearing, etc. I'd like to hear his perspective around what happens if you lose one or more. For example, if you hurt your eyes and you've gone blind one day, you're hearing another day, or even maybe you had a coma, so you lost your consciousness, but your body is still functioning. Where's the value of life when you lose one of those doors? ឥឡូវខ្ញុំបកប្រែខ្មែរវិញថាតម្លៃនៃជីវិតហ្នឹងបងថាយើងដល់ចិត្តទេថាតម្លៃនៃជីវិតហ្នឹងយើងមានការ experience ហ្នឹងតាមផ្លូវទ្វារ6ចង់សួរថាបើសិនជាទ្វារ1ឬ2ឬ3ថាបាត់ដូចខ្វាក់ភ្នែកឬក៏ហឹងតិចឬក៏យើងអាចសម្លាប់អត់ដឹងខ្លួនតើតម្លៃជីវិតហ្នឹងនៅទីណាអរគុណ
ជាធម្មតាគឺយើងមានទ្វារ6ហ្នឹងហើយប៉ុន្តែក៏មិនមែនមានន័យថាបើអស់ទ្វារមួយណាវាអស់តម្លៃឯងឲ្យតែនៅប្រើកើតហើយនឹងគិតពិចារណាបានអញ្ចឹងណាព្រោះតម្លៃមែនទែនគឺនៅលើការចម្រើនកុសលធម៌ការយល់ដឹង ហើយបើនៅទ្វារទាំង6យើងចម្រើនការយល់ដឹងតាមទ្វារទាំង6ឧបមាថាយើងមានភ្នែកយើងអាចមើលអីដែលអាចចម្រើនការយល់ដឹងយើងមើលគេមើលឯងរៀនពីគេឯង អានសិភៅតាមភ្នែកឃើញទេប៉ុន្តែបើអត់ភ្នែកតើវាអស់តម្លៃឬថាអត់ទេវាគ្រាន់តែច្រកចំណេះដែលចេះដឹងចូលតាមនឹងវាលែងមានតែវានៅតាមតិចឃើញទេតាមតិចតាមអីចឹងតទៅទៀតហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែបើសន្លប់ហើយបើលែងដឹងខ្លួនហើយឈួតហើយយើងកណនាតម្លៃលែងចេញហើយព្រោះវាស្មើនឹងអត់ប្រយោជន៍ដូចជាការដេកលក់ចឹងព្រះសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធព្រះអង្គត្រាស់ថាការដេកលក់គឺជារឿងអត់ប្រយោជន៍បើអ្នកទាំងឡាយភ្ញាក់ខ្លួនឡើងគិតតែអំពើបាបគិតតែរឿងអកុសលដេកលក់ប្រសើរជាងព្រោះដេកលក់គឺជាភាពអត់ប្រយោជន៍ឃើញទេបាបក៏មិនមានបុណ្យអាយ៉ា
Sorry, technical issue.
បាទដូច្នេះភាពអភ័ព្វរបស់សត្វលោកយើងក៏ព្រះអង្គសម្ដែងដែរហ្នឹងដូចជាកើតមកវាកល់ស្មារតីអានេះវារត់តម្លៃអត់ចេញទេដោយសារអីដោយសារវាមិនអាចចម្រើនកុសលកើតអញ្ចឹងបើយើងផ្ដោតទៅលើកុសលទៅលើតម្លៃដែលវានៅលើកុសលគឺវាទល់តែមនុស្សនៅចេះគិតដឹងខុសត្រូវទៅរត់តម្លៃនៃការរស់បានអញ្ចឹងបើកើតមកវាពីការស្មារតីទៅហើយនឹងបូកតម្លៃអត់ចេញព្រះអង្គហៅថាអភ័ព្វបុគ្គលចឹងណាអភ័ព្វបុគ្គលឬក៏យើងឈឺរហូតដល់ទៅសន្លប់លែងដឹងស្មារតីហើយទោះបីធ្លាប់រៀនចេះដឹងបណ្ណាក៏ដោយប៉ុន្តែខណៈសន្លប់លែងដឹងស្មារតីហើយអាហ្នឹងក៏បូកប្រយោជន៍លែងចេញដែរខណៈនោះចង់និយាយថាខណៈសន្លប់ហ្នឹងបូកប្រយោជន៍អត់ចេញទេខាតប្រយោជន៍ក៏មិនមែនកើនប្រយោជន៍ក៏មិនមែនតែយើងបូកឲ្យឃើញថាជាតម្លៃនៅតាណាទៀតវាលែងមានពីព្រោះអីมันអាចចម្រើនកុសលបានអញ្ចឹងណា
Would you like to deliver in English?
បងអញ្ចឹង
I'll just not fully translation, but I just explain what he just delivered, and also the question is about the sixth door. I think the beginning, Suchi also mentioned about the sixth door. We have first seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, and also the one more is what is the English Manojat? Thinking. So sixth door. And the question is, what happened to life value is one door broken? And Suchi just explained the value is not depend on one door broken, but it's depend on. I think you need to help me with this part. You may more give more explanation in English. The value of life is not. It's not about one door's broken and then we have this value. It doesn't mean that, right? In English.
You know, ជនពិការហៅអី
disabled person.
Disabled person. Yeah. The real disabled person is not about they have ខូចភ្នែក
blind.
Okay.
Deaf. Yeah. Okay.
So the question was around the six doors. I was asking to see, in terms of when you lose one of those doors or more, if you, for example, you've gone blind one day, or you've lost your hearing one day, and the third one would be if you've lost consciousness, what would happen? So the first answer would be, value in life doesn't rely on just all six doors being in function at the same time. So if you lose sight, it doesn't mean you can lose the value. You can still obtain value through your hearing. You can hear good Dharma, you can hear good lessons from life whilst you might not be able to see. Or vice versa, if you lost your hearing, you can still see things that can teach you, and you can see good examples through what you can through your function of your eyes, your sense of touch. You can still have the emotional, because everything feeds to your mind. And if you lose sight, it doesn't mean you can, it doesn't cut the functionality of your mind, your hearing, and then therefore your mind can actually still make choices, decisions, and take the right path in terms of where you need to go from a value perspective. The third one, in terms of losing consciousness, that's probably where value is not there anymore, because therefore you're not able to function to determine whether this is moral or immoral, whether it's wholesome or unwholesome, because your morality relies on your ability, your mind, to determine what is moral and what is immoral in that sense.
So if you're in a coma in a hospital, you can't hear, can't see, basically you can't taste because
Yep.
you've got drinks. So you've lost just about
most values in order to determine សំណួរគាត់សួរថាឧទាហរណ៍បើសិនជានៅក្នុងពេទ្យយើងសម្លាប់យើងអត់មានដឹងខ្លួនទេតែយើងមានតម្លៃឯណានោះទៀតហើយបើខ្ញុំសូមថែមសំណួរគាត់ថាឧទាហរណ៍បើសិនជាពុកម្ដាយយើងឬក៏បងប្អូនយើងគាត់សម្លាប់អញ្ចឹងហើយតម្លៃនៃជីវិតហ្នឹងគឺអត់មានតើអត្តនទានាឬការសម្លាប់ហ្នឹងគឺថាយើងអ្នកជំរើសជ្រើសថាយើងទៅដកបំពង់អុកស៊ីហ្សែនឬក៏ដក life support នឹងចេញតើនៅបាបឬដែរឬអត់ So I've added to your question in terms of what happened when you lose consciousness. The only thing that you are there is just basically a living object, living body, but no longer able to think. What would happen? Would it be considered killing, or that's the first precept? If you had to make the decision to pull a plug, would that be determined as a killing since they are no longer able to have that moral judgment anymore?
It depends on your intention. If we take off the life support, only let him goes by his yathakam. It's not about the killing, If at the same time that you take off the life support and you think you don't want him to stay last long, it means you are killing. But if you only take it, but you don't cut his life, but just take it off, it doesn't mean that you are killing. Because the real life in Pali terms say chivitantri, chivitantri means thing that keep life to continue. អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាយើងដកចេញដោយគិតថាឲ្យគាត់ទៅតាមយថាកម្មរបស់គាត់មិនមែនជា killing ទេប៉ុន្តែដោយក្នុងអាកំណត់ដែលយើងដកហ្នឹងថាអត់ចង់ឲ្យគាត់នៅយូរអញ្ចឹងឲ្យគាត់ឆាប់ទៅអាហ្នឹងទៅមានចេតនាផ្ដាច់អូខេអញ្ចឹង
Sorry, did you get him? It's based on the intention at the same time with.
is that the intention of the person who pulls the
Yes.
I'd just like to ask, do you believe in burials or cremations? And do you believe in reincarnation?
បាទប្រាគាត់ចង់សួរថាតើយើងជឿជាក់ទៅលើការបូជានិងការបញ្ចុះសពឬក៏ការចាប់កំណើតឡើងវិញអត់នៅក្នុងផ្នែកពុទ្ធសាសនារបស់យើង
In Buddhism, for the dead body is like the wood. It's nothing. No matter we cremate or bury, not different. It's like the stick, But in Buddhism, we don't say reincarnation. We say the rebirth. Yeah. So, like the sun that set and then it gonna have another sunrise. So that's why we don't say reincarnation, because when we say reincarnation, it's something like when we pass away, we have our soul or travel from this body to reincarnate in the next existence or the next world. But in the Buddha's teaching taught us one thing happen because of another thing as a condition. So if one still have attachment karma, that karma is like the seed, you know. When you put the seed into the ground, it's gonna have another tree. Yeah, it grows. So it is a bit deep in the teaching. So let me reply to only the cremate or bury. It doesn't matter. We don't care about that because the dead body is like the stone, it's like the wood. It know nothing. So no matter you cremate or bury, it doesn't matter. It's like the some not puh, you know, like the snake.
Snake skin.
The snake skin when it take it off.
Unshakable.
So the dead body is like the snake skin that the snake doesn't need anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, you can choose whatever you want.
I think every single questions have very deep meaning in Buddhism. We need to study about mind, and also Cettasika is something that work with minds. That lesson we have it in Buddhism. So all the questions, this just a roughly answer, but it have a very more deep meaning about that. But we need to learn. We need to study deeply to get more understanding around all the questions that we just discussed. So in Buddhism, I can say we not just believe, but it is the lesson. And like Suchi say, when we follow Buddha, we not just like practice cultural or traditional Buddhism, but we are truly Buddha student. We need to sit down and study like we are going to the university or going to school. Yeah, thank you. Any more questions? Any?
I want to speak English first and Khmer after. Normally we're talking about life value. We always value about success, right? Majority of us, we always value about success, but we forget about value of failure. So for me, I always value both. Failure is more important than success because success is very easy to accept, but the failure is make us stronger. So that's why some people don't accept failure. That's why they become kill themselves, you know, and never think that they have enough. But for us, for me in my life, after growing from kids, it's not a really wealthy family, but we think failures make me stronger. And in this case, Lokuru, do you have any technique or advice to the one that can't accept the failure? How to improve their mind and, you know, in the Buddhist philosophy? I would like to speak in Khmer. តាមគ្រឿងផ្ទាល់បបិសោតដែលខ្ញុំតែងតែជួបមនុស្សយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាហ្នឹងឲ្យតម្លៃទៅលើភាពជោគជ័យអត់អាចតម្លៃទៅភាពបរាជ័យទេប៉ុន្តែសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំខ្លួនឯងផ្ទាល់ដែលខ្ញុំឆ្លងកាត់ខ្ញុំឲ្យតម្លៃភាពបរាជ័យច្រើនជាងភាពជោគជ័យពីព្រោះភាពបរាជ័យធ្វើឲ្យខ្លួនយើងផ្ទាល់ហ្នឹងខ្លាំងជាងមុនបានភាពជោគជ័យមកទោះតែមានភាពបរាជ័យសិនមិនយើងលើពីភាពហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងហើយបើយើងឃើញតាមបណ្ដាសង្គមយើងនីមួយៗគាត់អត់ទទួលភាពបរាជ័យអញ្ចឹងធ្វើឲ្យគាត់មានភាពសម្លាប់ខ្លួនចងកឆ្លោះគ្នាបានថាបញ្ចេញកំហឹងដាក់គ្នាដោយសារគាត់មិនទទួលភាពបរាជ័យអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងនៃពុទ្ធអាវាតនៃពុទ្ធសាសនាឬក៏លោកគ្រូដែលឆ្លងកាត់តើមានជាអាវាតឬក៏ជាដំបូងមានណាមួយដើម្បីទៅដល់បងប្អូនមួយចំនួនដែលនៅតាមការ live ឬក៏នៅក្នុងទីនេះអាចទៅរួមទទួលនៅភាពបរាជ័យនឹងបាទលោកគ្រូ
I think this question that Kim just raised will be the same thing that I would like you to explain more. When Barbara asking you, are you carrying happiness on your shoulder all the time? And then you respond to her that you can just accept, parent just ask, I think the same questions that you may share how you accept the truth. Because Kim's question is just like accept the failure, but actually, as normal being, we never wish to be failed, but we just want to live and accept the truth. Happiness is happiness, failure is failure, just how we can accept the reality that comes to our life.
Actually, we cannot accept without the real understanding. People can say, oh, don't think too much. It is very simple to life. But actually, it cannot help if they don't understand. Because in this life, we are walking through the worldly condition. Everyone has to go through the worldly condition. There are 8 worldly conditions that we have to go through. They are gain and loss. These 2 things are peers. They always come together. When you gain, you are facing of loss. When you lost, also it's the beginning of gain. And praise and blame. When you are getting admire or praise from people, be ready for the blame or insult and fame and disgrace also come together. And the last 2 are pain and happiness or pleasure. So, the real success in life is not to get everything that we want. The real success in life is to be accepted all things that happen to life. We already know when we just born, we didn't take anything along, right? Even the clothes, even the dress, we did not get anything. So everything that comes to life is like the wind that blows to your body. It comes and gone. It comes and gone. So understanding about the impermanent things that come to you, like through the 6 doors, like seeing, you see now, and then it's gone. You hear, and then it's gone. Nothing last long. So contemplating all things that go through the 6 doorways, little by little, it's gonna teach your mind to accept the truth, little by little. Don't wait until you are able to get all things as they are, but start to understand little by little, from moment to moment. Like now, you are hearing, right? Hearing. Now maybe my speech is not bad for you because you want to listen. But maybe my speech is very bad thing for some people who doesn't want to listen. But no matter it is pleasure or displeasure for you, it happened and then it's gone. So developing the understanding the reality that comes through the 6 door is the best key. You know, some people always said with what has already gone. For example, seeing, hearing yesterday has already gone. They are not stay until now. But only the thinking, always think it back, to draw it back. It make you stress. For example, yesterday someone blamed you. The speech has already gone. But your memory still keep in your mind, in your brain, and then you feel sad, you feel disappointed whenever you think of that. But actually, they are all gone. So how can one let it go without understanding the reality? Little by little, by developing the understanding about the thing that comes through your six doorways, come and gone, again and again and again. So your mindfulness, your understanding will develop. So it's not hard to eliminate it because your understanding doesn't work. See? And some people scared of something in the future. But they miss the precise moment that they should focus on what are appearing at the moment. For example, we all have our own problem. But when you only focus to listen, so what is the problem now? There is no any problem with hearing at the moment, right? Because now you are focusing on what I am talking about. So you don't think about your problem yesterday or many years ago or even your grandson that you just talk about, right? Because you are focusing on my speech. So be in present moment all the time. It can let it go easily. When you sad or you unhappy with many things in your life, it doesn't mean that your mind is weak. It's because of your mind work too hard at the moment. It think in the past and in the future and now together, and then it become heavy. You feel very heavy, overload, you know. But for example, let me give you an example. When you stand in a row and you pass things from one to another. If we do our work just as from one person and pass to the second person, it's not hard for us. But if we want to do this job since the beginning until the end, maybe
Too exhausted.
Right?
We're not sharing the burden.
So if it's like Onbora asked me about if we lost some doors, something like that, just focus on the doors that still exist. For example, we don't have eye, but we still have ears. Focus on ears. Train your ears to use it better than before. If you spend time to regret for the lost eyes, oh, in the past my eyes could see everything, now I'm blind, so it wastes time, right? So focus on what you have. Sometimes we lost something, but we still have many things. But many people don't focus on what they are having, but they focus what they have lost. That's why they cannot satisfy what they have. Buddha said, enjoy with what you have is the blessing. Okay.
Any more questions or would like to share experience? Anyone want to share? What time is it now? Exactly 4 p.m. Well, we can keep going a little bit more.
និយាយខ្មែរបន្តិចសូមឱកាសគ្រូតិចសូមឲ្យលោកគ្រូបញ្ជាក់អំពីតម្លៃជីវិតរបស់បុគ្គលដែលអស់កិលេសហើយនិងបុគ្គលដែលមានកិលេសព្រោះ គ្រប់យ៉ាងដែលខ្ញុំស្ដាប់ពីដំបូងមកគឺសិតតែបុគ្គលដែលមានកលេសដូចគ្នាអញ្ចឹងពេលស្ដាប់ទៅបញ្ហាមិនចេះចប់ដោះមួយចូលមួយដោះមួយចូលមួយអញ្ចឹងសូមឲ្យលោកគ្រូបញ្ជាក់កន្លែងនេះព្រោះថាអ្នកដែលមានសម័យឥឡូវដូចសែមនិយាយអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាខ្ញុំមានវិឡាខ្ញុំមានឡានខ្ញុំមានទ្រព្យសម្បត្តិខ្ញុំមានផ្ទះជួលខ្ញុំមានអីទាំងអស់អញ្ចឹងតម្លៃជីវិតរបស់គាត់ឲ្យលើបែបហ្នឹងចំពោះបុគ្គលដែលមានកលេសតែដល់ពេលជំនាន់ព្រះសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធគឺបុគ្គលដែលអស់កលេសតែងតែឲ្យតម្លៃទៅលើកុសលហ្នឹងខ្ញុំនិយាយកាត់លោកគ្រូណាបាទអញ្ចឹងចង់ឲ្យលោកគ្រូបញ្ជាក់តិចថាតើយើងគួរក៏បីទូមានចិត្តដល់បុថុជនបែបម៉េចព្រោះថាពេលខ្លះគាត់ភ្លេចបើយើងនិយាយថាអត់មានឧបនិស្ស័យអញ្ចឹងគាត់ភ្លេចអញ្ចឹងទៅគាត់ដើរបានបន្តិចគាត់មានចំណុចជា credit ដែលជាប់ពាក់ព័ន្ធទៅនឹងកលេសដូចជាទឹកឃ្មុំនៅលើដងចុងស្បូវឬក៏នៅលើកាំបិតឬក៏ឡាមអញ្ចឹងគាត់តែងតែលឹកទឹកឃ្មុំនោះអញ្ចឹងទៅក្រោយមកគាត់តែងតែទទួលរងគ្រោះនៅអ្វីដែលគាត់មានអញ្ចឹងចង់ឲ្យលោកគ្រូបញ្ជាក់ថាតម្លៃនៃជីវិតរបស់បុគ្គលដែលជាព្រះអរហន្តមិនចាំបាច់ថាព្រះអរហន្តទេសូម្បីតែបុគ្គលដែលសម្រេចថ្នាក់សោតតាជាដើមហើយនឹងតម្លៃនៃបុគ្គលដែលនៅមានកលេសពេញហ្នឹងថាតើយើងគួរឲ្យតម្លៃមួយណាសំខាន់ជាងគ្រូ example like speak a little bit example like in Buddhism there are many people in the past time they have all enlightenment but recently it's rarely to have enlightenment people that's why the value of life they put a name on it when they are wealthy they are healthy and they got everything and they put in their mind like oh I have everything you don't have anything this is my value of life but when they lost that then that because they got full of attachment then when they lost everything they got so sad and disgraceful so I want to ask Master Sachir like what can we determine which way are we going to example like people with attachment and people without attachment then what is the best way to adapt ourselves thank you
okay now we are living with ordinary people let me talk about the value of ordinary people's life in Dhammapada the Buddha taught about the value of life is focused on morality and wisdom. One verse that Buddha said, those who live 100 years but they don't understand the reality of life, it's not a better life. But one live only one day, but they can understand the reality of life. What is the condition of life? He said, one day living of the one who understand the reality of life is better than those who live 100 years. So he value the wisdom, value the understanding, right? And one more verse he said, those who doesn't understand about life, even they live until 100 years, they like the cow, you know, the cow they live only for eating and then they become fat. become
just eating for the
just
living,
eating for the living.
about
Yeah,
anything else.
just eating for the living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
How?
the most important of human's life is understanding. You know, animal can live, can survive. They can live until the rest of life. But if human being live just eat for living, for sleeping, for enjoying sexual pleasure or something, it's not different from
The cow.
the animal,
The animal.
right? So happy, but the most important thing that human being can do is developing the understanding of life. Yeah, understand the impermanent thing of life, and then they can do many things, good thing that animal can't, like morality, like generosity or charity. Animal can do. See, so human being can do it. Can pass knowledge to others, can share experience to others, can explain people to heal their suffering. That animal can do. This is the value of ordinary people should do.
Oh, thank you so much. I think the time is up as well. Oh no, no worry. Thank you so much for your time today, parents. And should we close now because I think one more. Min some no Chang share idea. I think we have enough discussion if we don't want to over time too much because we start a little bit late, but we seem like control the time very well, and we have enough discussions. A lot of things that we have done. Or maybe you have a short speech before we close, or I can close now.
Okay. Let me share a little bit before we close the program. I'm here to talk in the name of one who follows the Buddha's teaching, and I only want to share that if those who want to understand the real teaching of the Buddha, we should start learning the real teaching, not look at Buddhist practicing. If we just look at the Buddhist practicing like the monk or the laymen and lay people practicing, we cannot see the real teaching of the Buddha. So the real teaching of the Buddha is not about something beside of ourselves. The real teaching of the Buddha is about our life. When we look deeply into our body, there is two things that we have to learn. One is physical phenomena, and the second is mental phenomena. In Pali terms say rupa and nama. Rupa means matter, and nama we refer to the mind and mental state that fix together, that experience things. So the real teaching of the Buddha taught us to contemplate on physical phenomena and mental phenomena, so we can fix our mind when it has problem. For example, when we can fix something like telephone or any machine, we have to know all part of that so that we can fix it when it has problem. The same thing as our mind. If we don't understand clearly about our mind, how can we solve it? How can we make it get better when it has problem? So in Buddhism taught us to focus on our speech, our act, and our thought. One verse he said, when one has the wrong thinking, when they speak, when they act, also wrong, and then the suffering will follow like the cat followed the ox. But when one have the right thinking, no matter he act or speak, happiness always follows like the shadow follows the man. So the teaching focus only inside, not to see others' mistake. Instead of seeing others' mistake, see inside, look inside, and then we can develop our understanding and we can find the real happiness inside the mind. Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much, Siji, and thank you everyone for your valuable time to participate the program today. I think this is the first time that we conduct the program in Star Cafe, and we hope in the future we're going to have another chance to come together and have a very nice discussion like today. So before I close the program, I may speak a little bit Khmer in order to conclude what we just discussed, because we have run in two languages, Khmer and English, and I have my notes summarize all the questions today. Will not summarize say something everything that we just discussed, but just want to give the idea for the audience online what we have discussed today. So we យើងបានឆ្លើយនឹងជជែកគ្នាទៅលើ9ចំណុចតែទី1នោះគឺយើងបានជជែកគ្នាអំពីអ្វីដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខហើយលោកគ្រូក៏បានរៀបរាប់ហើយថាអ្វីដែលជាសេចក្តីសុខហើយយើងក៏បានជជែកគ្នាអំពីសំណួរមួយដែលភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសរបស់យើងបានចូលរួមហើយសួរថាតើសុជាគ្រូអញ្ចឹងមានក្តីសុខរហូតមែនអញ្ចឹងសំណួរហ្នឹងក៏បានឆ្លើយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសដែរអត់បានបកស្រាយជាភាសាខ្មែរទេប៉ុន្តែសម្រាប់បងប្អូនដែលអាចយល់ភាសាអង់គ្លេសក៏អាចស្ដាប់ឡើងវិញនៅ line នេះបានចាសំណួរទី3ហ្នឹងគឺបានជជែកគ្នាអំពីទស្សនវិស័យរបស់ព្រះពុទ្ធសាសនាថាតើព្រះពុទ្ធសាសនានឹងបើយើងប្រៀបធៀបអំពីសាសនាផ្សេងតើការគោរពនឹងឲ្យតម្លៃគ្នាបែបម៉េចព្រោះតាមការសង្កេតរបស់អ្នកចូលរួមរបស់យើងដែលបានសួរសំណួរហ្នឹងគាត់ឃើញថាមានសាសនាដទៃដែលសាសនាដូចគ្នាសោះប៉ុន្តែមិនអាចទទួលការគោរពពីគ្នាទៅវិញទៅមកចុះចំណែកព្រះពុទ្ធសាសនាតើមានការគោរពបែបណាដែរសំណួរនេះក៏បានបកស្រាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសដែរដែលមិនបានបកស្រាយជាភាសាខ្មែរទេបងប្អូនអាចអញ្ជើញទៅស្ដាប់ឡើងវិញសំណួរទី4គឺយើងបានជជែកគ្នាអំពីទ្វារទាំង6ខ្ញុំជឿជាក់ថាអ្នកដែលសិក្សាអំពីចិត្តចេតសិកគឺបរមត្ថធម៌បានយល់អំពីសំណួរបានយល់អំពីចំណុចនេះប៉ុន្តែសំណួរបានលើកឡើងថាតើបើសិនជាទ្វារមួយខូចតើតម្លៃដែលតកតងទៅនឹងប្រធានបទនៃថ្ងៃនេះថាជីវិតរបស់យើងនឹងវាមានតម្លៃដល់អត់ឬក៏តម្លៃរបស់ជីវិតនឹងវាខូចដោយសារតែមានទ្វារមួយនឹងខូចអញ្ចឹងសំណួរនេះក៏បានបកស្រាយជាភាសាខ្មែរខ្លះនិងជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសខ្លះផងដែរសំណួរទី5គឺយើងនិយាយអំពីការធ្វើបាណាតិបាតបើសិនជាមនុស្សដែលចិត្តស្លាប់ឬថាសន្លប់គាត់មើលទៅអត់មានសង្ឃឹមទៀតទេបើដកអាអុកស៊ីហ្សែនអីទៅតើវាដាច់បាណាអត់អញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូក៏បានបកស្រាយសំណួរនេះជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសផងដែរហើយតកតងនឹងសំណួរទី6គឺការបូជាសពការបញ្ចុះសពហើយនឹងការកើតឡើងវិញនៅក្នុងពុទ្ធសាសនាយើងគេឲ្យតម្លៃបែបម៉េចអញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូក៏បានបកស្រាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសដែរនៅសំណួរទី7គឺបងសាម្ចាស់កន្លែងស្នាកាហ្វេលើកឡើងអំពីអ្វីទៅដែលជាតម្លៃនៃជីវិតជាទូទៅយើងឲ្យតម្លៃលើជីវិតទៅលើភាពជោគជ័យចុះបើភាពបរាជ័យយ៉ាងម៉េចដែរសម្រាប់គាត់ឲ្យតម្លៃទាំងពីរហើយនៅក្នុងសំណួរនេះក៏ភ្ជាប់គ្នានៅសំណួររបស់ភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសយើងដែលលើកឡើងថាតើជីវិតរបស់លោកគ្រូសាមសុជាសប្បាយរហូតមែនអញ្ចឹងសំណួរនេះក៏បានបកស្រាយយ៉ាងក្បោះក្បាយជាភាសាខ្មែរផងដែរដែលយើងអាចនិយាយលោកគ្រូក៏បានលើកឡើងដដែលថាការទទួលយកនៅការពិតហ្នឹងគឺមានភាពសំខាន់ខ្លាំងណាស់ហើយសំណួរទី8ជាសំណួររបស់អ្នករៀបចំកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងគឺបងសុផលលើកឡើងអំពីបុគ្គលដែលមានកិលេសបុគ្គលនិងមិនមានកិលេសតើឲ្យតម្លៃនៅជីវិតនឹងរបៀបណាអញ្ចឹងលោកគ្រូក៏បានបកស្រាយជាភាសាខ្មែរនៅកន្លែងនេះដែរហើយសារចុងក្រោយរបស់លោកគ្រូគឺថាការសិក្សាអំពីព្រះធម៌គឺការសិក្សាពីជីវិតយើងចង់ដឹងច្បាស់តើយើងសិក្សាពីព្រោះការសិក្សាអំពី มีกี่ประธานนี่มันอาจจะกำรู้ตรมแต่การเคยในการอนุวัตได้ยืมมือเคยตามการอนุวัตใบประเพณีหรือก็ศาสนาใบประเพณีหรือก็ใบตุ่มเลียมตุ่มหลอกระบบสังคมบันตีต่อแต่ยืมมองคุยศึกษาบางอย่างอาจจะลงไปจุ่มเริงในประธานต่างๆหายทั้งนี้คือยืมมีนปัญญาได้การปฏิบัติยืมบานcái chạy kia cái lò máu cái tê pi màu chín đi hai các bạn là tập hoa chụp lại chụp cả tại tôi chẳng hạn cái đó nhập trong ca chơi nơi sầm núi đôi khi bạn chỉ chân lực còn lừa đại thả nằm bay ai ở dưới si chùm rơi từ lừa bánh hai chữ vật mùi ní to từ giờ bạn sạch sạch mê riêng vật này chữ vật trả cứ cả sạch sạch nơi bát thon đi tạm đó chẳng tham thi được bao nhiêu các bạn đó tìm bên trong hay khi ông xôm ở con lực ra chỉ mới đang xôm ở con bông ôn được ở nhiều once again we close the program right now and with a big thank you for today and we wish ចាអញ្ចឹងចុងក្រោយកិច្ចចុងក្រោយជាកិច្ចបែបទំនៀមទម្លាប់ជាការគោរពដឹងគុណចំពោះប្រធមខ្ញុំសូមជឿបងសុនយើងអាចសាមេតាធនកម្មតបចាសាមេតាធនកម្មតប this celebration this program is just show respect to the Buddha and also acknowledge the real Dharma and we'll just pay homage for the last program for the end. Thank you.